The building where Abraham Lincoln once served before he went to Washington, and the city where I served for many years in the state government before I decided to run for the United States Senate. So I stood there on these steps and I announced this unlikely journey to change America. And I have to say that there were those who asked me, why did you decide to run this time? You're a relatively young man. Why are you running so soon? You can afford to wait. That's what they told me. And I explained that I'm not running because of some long-held ambitions. I know that some people have been looking through my kindergarten papers to see what's in there, but that's not why I decided to do that. I'm not running because I think it's somehow owed to me. I am running because of what Dr. King called the fierce urgency of now. Because I believe there's such a thing as being too late.
Put the sign down.
And that hour is almost upon us. We are at a defining moment in our history. Our nation is at war. And our economy is in shambles. The dream that so many worked for so long feels like it's slowly slipping away. And you see it in your own lives. You're working harder just to get by. You've never paid more for gas at the pump, never paid more for health care, never paid more for college education. It's harder to save. It's harder to retire. Our healthcare system leaves 47 million people without health insurance. And those who have health insurance are seeing their co-payments, their deductibles, their premiums going up and up and up. Our education system, despite the slogans, leaves millions of children behind, unable to compete in a global economy. And for too many people, a good job that pays a good wage with a good benefit is out of reach. In such circumstances, we cannot afford to wait. We can't wait to fix our schools. We can't wait to fix our healthcare system. We cannot wait to provide good jobs and good wages. We can't wait to rescue our young men and young women from prisons and put them on a course that leads to a decent life. We cannot wait to bring this war in Iraq to a close. We can't wait. So when I decided to run, it was because I believe that the size of our challenges had outstripped the capacity of a broken and divided politics to solve. And I was convinced the American people wanted something different out of Washington, wanted something new. And people were tired of the politics that was all about tearing each other down. They wanted politics that was about lifting the country up. The people were tired of spin, PR from politicians. They wanted straight talk, honesty, and truthfulness from their elected leaders. In other words, I was betting on you, the American people. Because, you know, some of you know I don't live in Chicago, but I'm not originally from Chicago. I moved to Chicago after college because I wanted to work to help communities in need. And there were a group of churches there, and I worked with them to set job training programs for the unemployed, the thousands that have been laid off because the steel plants had closed in the area. And it was the best education that I ever had. Hard work, but a good education because it taught me ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they're given a chance. And it taught me that change in America doesn't happen from the top down. It happens from the bottom up. It happens because the American people get acclimated and mobilized. And so I was convinced that if we could just bring the American people together, as decent as they are, as generous as they are, willing to work hard and sacrifice for future generations, if we could get past the divisions and join together, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, African American, young, old, rich, poor. If we could come together to challenge the special interests that have come to dominate Washington, but also challenge ourselves to be better parents, and better neighbors, and better citizens, then I believe there was no challenge that we could not meet, no problem we could not solve, no destiny we could not fulfill. That's the bet that I made over a year ago. And I am here to report, Jackson State, that after traveling across the country for the last year, after speaking to hundreds of thousands of people, shaking tens of thousands of hands, and kissing hundreds of babies, and eating hundreds of chicken dinners. How about a catfish here in Mississippi? There's some good catfish here. That's some hot sauce on there as well. I am here to report to you that my bet has paid off. My faith in the American people has been vindicated, because everywhere I go, people are telling me they want something new. They want a different direction. They want to reach out to American history and turn the page. Now, I gotta admit that I would like to take credit for all the excitement around this election season. Record turnouts, young people voting, numbers we haven't seen in a generation, people getting involved and volunteering. I would like to take all the credit, but I gotta admit, part of it has to do with the fact that everybody knows they're going to be voting for the next president this November, and no matter what else happens, when they go to the polling, into the voting booth, the name George W. Bush will not be on the ballot. No Bush. The name of my cousin Dick Cheney won't be on the ballot. Some of y'all heard about that. They did a genealogical thing. It turned out that me and Cheney had a distant relation in town, which was really a letdown. It was really embarrassing. But his name won't be on the ballot, which means that the failed politics of the past, the Katrina inaction, and the student living justice, and the warrantless fire attacks, and the Brownie incompetence, and the Karl Rove politics, all that will be coming to an end next week. But you know, that's not the only reason that you're here tonight. You don't want to just be against something, you want to be for something.